Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I filmed a video. I think the last video I filmed was when I talked about how I planned my wedding, but I'm back with some news. So of course I got married in September. I graduated with my master's in December, and now I am pregnant, which was a huge surprise for me and my husband, because we decided that we were going to wait to have kids, like, because we had just got married, so we wanted to, you know, have fun, travel, save, all that good stuff, start our careers, and so a baby was just not in the plan. So I was not on birth control, but I was using the Flow app, and so that app tells you like how many days your cycle is going to be, when your period comes on, ovulation dates, and all that good stuff. So I was using that since we got married, so it was working 100% great up until I got pregnant. So I decided that I was going to get on birth control in January, because that's when I would be on my husband's insurance and everything would start over. And I didn't realize, which I should have, but I just didn't realize that everybody would be setting up new appointments because their insurance would be starting over as well. So in January I was calling all of these places trying to get an appointment, you know, to get everything checked out and to get on birth control. And everybody that I called was saying that they couldn't see me until February or March, like the beginning of March. And here it is, the beginning of January. So like, I'm just, you know, I'm annoyed, but I'm like, you know what, it's fine, because I have the Flow app, and the Flow app is working perfectly fine. So the beginning of January is also when a lot of people are just saying like, oh, I feel like you're going to get pregnant, like, you know, just wishing a baby on me. And so, by the way, if you said that in January, I did not like you at all, because it was annoying. It was like, why don't you say, girl, you're going to be a millionaire, why are you trying to tell me that I'm going to get pregnant? I wasn't panicking about not being able to get an appointment to get on birth control, because the Flow app was working for me. So I wasn't like, you know, really distraught, because I'm like, this thing is working, so it's fine. So I'll say, I think mid-January we went to this church service, and this guy, he was like, are y'all trying to start a family? And we're like, no, we're not. And he's like, okay, we'll be expecting a child soon. I feel like, you know, a child's coming for y'all soon. So of course when we leave, I'm like, Jay, like, everybody keeps saying that I'm going to get pregnant. This man is telling me that you know, to be expecting a child. And I was like, you know, we're being careful, like, I have the app ovulation. I was like, you know, people are, it's like, at this point it's just annoying, because it's like, leave me alone. So I ended up calling doctor's offices again after we went to that church service, like I needed to get an appointment. And so I was able to find a doctor's office that could see me in February, and I think this is towards the end of January, when I was like calling around again, and they were like, we could see you in February. And so my appointment date was February the 11th. So I go to the appointment, I'm filling out all the new patient paperwork, like, why are you here? You know, I was saying, like, you know, for a pap smear, to get everything looked at, and to get on birth control. So they call my name, and I go like to this like side area where they like check your vitals, ask family history, and all that stuff. So I'm sitting with the lady, so she's asking me, are you on birth control? So I tell her no. She asks me, am I pregnant? I say no. She said, do you think there's a chance you could be pregnant? And I'm saying no. And, you know, I'm saying no to all this, and she's looking at me weird, because it's like, girl, you're married, newly married, you're not on birth control, you don't think you're pregnant, like, oh, what is wrong with you? So she's like, okay. So I knew that before you get on birth control and do the pap smear and all that, they're going to do a pregnancy test, and they want to test your urine and all that kind of stuff. So I tell her I have to go to the restroom. So I go to the bathroom, and when I come out, she's already testing it, and she has this smirk on her face, and I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, nothing. And I was like, oh my god. So I text my husband, and I'm like, I think I'm pregnant. And then he texts back like, why did you say that? But I didn't text him back, because just in case I didn't want to tell him through text message. So the lady tells me to go sit down so she can see what the doctor wants to do with me. So I'm sitting there like panicking, like, what in the heck am I going to do? So they finally take me back to the room, and they have all the stuff set up for a pap smear, and their nurse comes in behind me, and she says, we're not doing your pap today, the doctor will be with you soon. So at that point I'm kind of like, oh, like I kind of know, but I'm still not accepting it. Like, this just can't be it. The doctor walks in, and before she can even close the door, she's like, we're not doing your pap today because your pregnancy test results came back positive. And I froze. Like, I'm looking at her and she's looking at me like, okay. Like, I'm like, okay, okay. And then so I'm just looking at her and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yes. Like, yes. Like, I just could not believe it. So she's like asking me, oh, are you having any pain or anything? And I told her, well, I was cramping, but I'm thinking I'm cramping because my period is about to come on. Mind you, y'all, I'm only 2 days late, which is not crazy for me. Like, my period's supposed to come on that Saturday or Sunday, and it's Monday. So I'm not thinking anything, y'all. I'm like literally 4 weeks pregnant. Like, that's it. So I never even had time to process that I could have been pregnant. So, you know, I'm just really distraught, and she's like asking me, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, are you gonna carry on? And I'm like, yeah. But like, I'm just freaking out. So she asked me if I'm having any pain or anything, and I tell her, you know, I'm cramping, like I said, because I thought my period was going to come on. And she said, okay, well, we're just going to check to make sure it's not an ectopic pregnancy. So like, they do an ultrasound and all that good stuff. And like, there was no baby there. There was just a gestational sac or a yolk sac. I can't remember, whichever one comes first. That's all it was. That's how early on I was. So she's like, oh, well, it looks like the start of a healthy pregnancy or whatever. So y'all, I am like freaking out. I have my ultrasound pictures. So just imagine like going into a doctor's office thinking you're leaving with a prescription, and you leave out with ultrasound pictures. So I leave the appointment. They scheduled me a new appointment, I think for the following week, to see how things were happening, because I told y'all I was just a sac there. So I go to Zaxby's, get some food, and go straight to my husband's job. And I text him and I was like, come outside. So he comes outside, and as soon as he gets in the car, I'm like, you're gonna be a dad. And he was like, no, I'm not, you lying. And I was like, yes, you are. And I was like, see, I have an appointment card for next week. But I knew when I showed him that he wouldn't believe me. So he's like, okay, you have an appointment card, so what? So then I'm like, grab the little, so then I grabbed the ultrasound pictures from, like, I had it like on the side of my car door. And so I grabbed the ultrasound pictures, and I'm like, see, you're gonna be a dad. And he's like, bro, how? And I'm like, I don't know. I said the same thing. So then he goes back to work, I go home, and that's when everything just sinks in, like, you're gonna be a mom. And I just keep saying, like, I will forever say that I feel like I would have accepted it better if I would have suspected that I was pregnant, because there's something that will lead up to a woman taking a pregnancy test at home. Like I said, I didn't really miss my period yet because it was like 2 days late, so that's normal for me. And so I just didn't suspect anything. But then it just turns out that, you know, God wanted us to have this little girl. It's a little girl, by the way. God wanted us to have this little girl for, you know, reasons that I don't know yet, but I know they're great reasons. And I'm just, now I feel a lot better about it. I'm 5 months pregnant now. I feel a lot better about it. I just had to let it sink in. Like, it wasn't in my plan. Like, I'm a huge planner, especially like for big life events like this. So just because it wasn't in my plan doesn't mean that it's not something great still. So now I am really excited. I'm so happy it's a girl. We do have a name picked out. We have the same initials, KLK. But yeah, I'm excited to meet her. I'm excited to be a mother. I've always wanted to be a mother. And I had to realize that just because it wasn't when I planned, that it was still a good thing. So that is how I found out I was pregnant at my doctor's appointment. Another thing I want to say a sincere thank you to everybody who has congratulated us, and to everybody who congratulated us and the very next thing they said was, y'all are going to be great parents, or you're going to be a great mother. Like, that just means everything to me, because I just feel like everything in this world that I have accomplished, every good thing that I have done, it doesn't mean anything if I'm not if I'm not being a great mother to the child I created. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for that, and thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to do a part 2 to this video, talking about my symptoms and stuff, because I really would like to keep track of this stuff and record this journey, so I'll have something to look back on. So you know, my little baby will have something to look back on this journey. So I do plan on vlogging and just recording videos just to keep for memory's sake. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks everybody who came back a year later still interested. Thank you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. But thank you for watching. Bye y'all.